Greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical back again. I'll just jump right into it. So, there's a lot going on. Obviously, that's an understatement. But one of the most recent things is Russia attacking the ships, the Ukrainian Navy, I guess, and then taking some of their ships and sailors. You know, that is probably Putin trying to get attention, trying to steal land, whatever he's trying to do. But it got me to thinking because, you know, some alarmist type people, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way, but talk about, oh my God, this could lead to nuclear war. And I started thinking about it. And for those of you, a lot of people think that I'm still in California. I get comments like, wow, the weather must be cold in California. I'm in Virginia, so I am from California, from Los Angeles, but I got out here in 2003 and love every second of it. I wouldn't go back to that shithole for anything. Don't miss anything out there except good Mexican food. But, oh, he wants to build a wall, but he likes Mexican food. You're goddamn right I do. But, out here, the best Mexican food I can get in Virginia is Taco Bell. So, I was, you know, I'm 45 miles south of the Pentagon. And I was walking him just a second. I'm walking my dog now. And, I imagined, like, what if there, you know how you have these visions, like, of a big nuclear flash, a big white flash, and I started thinking, you know, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. And for those of you that are young, when I was growing up, guys my age will probably remember, especially if they're from California. I don't know about the rest of the country, but we grew up absolutely convinced that we were going to get annihilated by nuclear missiles from Russia, the Soviet Union at the time. And on the last Thursday of every month, it was very eerie. You would hear these forlorn sirens in the city. And they would do this whole thing. And, you know, we were taught to duck and cover as if that would save us. But all of us, you know, we would have drills and get under our desks so that we would be incinerated under our desk, I guess. You know, we don't have basements out in California. And we just lived with it. And it got me to thinking, with everything going on, man, look at all the number of homes lost in the fires out west, out in California is hard to even comprehend. And I started wondering about them. Like, I wonder how many of them had go bags or were prepared for disasters or were preppers. And if any of you are from that area and, God forbid, affected by that, and you either were prepared as much as you could be, or you weren't and wish you were, you know, please comment on that. Come here, that's yucky. And I started thinking about that, and thinking about, you know, with all these communists being elected and running for office, that ignorant young chick, what's her name, in New York that got elected for Congress. I mean, you know, maybe there's a real good possibility that all Trump's doing is putting off the inevitable, because the socialist / communist liberals that have taken over our educational systems, no, that's yucky, come here, years ago, have had such a foothold, and there's like an entire generation of young people, millennials, that for the most part don't know what the fuck's going on about history. They're conditioned to feel guilty if they're white. They're conditioned to feel guilty if they're straight. You know, we may be the last generation that knows what it's like to not be living in America. And there was a time when I would have thought that was like pure alarmist thinking, but not anymore, man, because I mean, if you would have told me, you know, 10 years ago that NFL players would be kneeling for the national anthem and presidents would be condoning the fucking hatred of cops, thank you, Obama, I wouldn't have believed it, you know. But here we are. And so anything's possible. Come here, Mason, let's go this way. So, he's so cute, look at him. He's a good boy, look at him. Come on, let's get out of the street. But, it has me wondering, you know, I mean, there's also, and I know this is a touchy subject. Come here. That's a car. for my very ultra religious friends, and I have nothing against that whatsoever. I've talked about aliens before. My stance is very clear. I absolutely can't comprehend that anybody would think that there are no intelligent life forms in the universe. I believe there's endless amounts, and that they've been here, maybe are here. And I think that our government is aware of it. And I think, you know, there was a video on YouTube the other day that came out. It was called I think it's called the Nimitz UFO incident. If you search that, check it out. It's very well done. And it deals with some planes flying off of the coast of San Diego, off of the USS Nimitz, that had a UFO encounter. And I won't go through the whole thing, but it was like the first time the government ever released actual footage and admitted, hey, we have no idea what these are. So I wonder how many of you think about that. What will happen in the event that there is full disclosure? Or what do you think will happen to our population if the government stages a false flag? You know, I think the government's in possession of UFOs, of alien craft, or craft that were constructed, you know, by reverse engineering or whatever. And I wonder sometimes if you guys think about what that would mean to us. Now, when I mentioned the religious folks, come on, Mason. I know that many of you very Orthodox religious folks believe that aliens are demons. And I don't mock that, because I don't believe it. But I also know that anything is possible. You know, you don't know. And there's no scenario when it comes to aliens or the government and false flags. There's no scenario that is insane and not possible. It's all possible. You know, I'm not 100% convinced that our government was involved with 9/11, but I haven't written that off, because, as I've said before, you know, it's hard to know what the fuck's going on. If you were to if you went to Google or to YouTube, you're on YouTube, if you were to look at YouTube videos of how the moon landings were faked, chances are you'd come away believing they were faked. I believe we went to the moon, but the evidence is pretty strong. But then if I watch another video explaining why they weren't faked, I'm back in my comfort zone, convinced that we went to the moon. If I watch a video explaining why those buildings could not have fallen without explosives, and especially Building 7, which that's the one thing that fucking causes me the most problem. But if I watch some of those well done videos, and I've seen them all, you just literally are convinced that the government had a hand in it. Conversely, if you watch another video with the opposing view, you think, oh, how'd I buy into that other shit? So we just don't know. So the best thing we can do, I'm actually going to arrive at a point here. The best thing we can do, and I've said it before, I'll keep saying it, is keep things, keep alert. Do not hyper focus on this shit. Have a plan. Have fire extinguishers in case there's a fire in your house. Have car insurance in case you get in an accident. And have a plan in case there's a national catastrophe and the power grid goes out. You should have your shit together enough to survive for months. I mean, I'm confident that I could last right here where I'm at for 6 months. Wouldn't be easy, but I could do it. Once I get my bug out property together, I tore the cabin down and I'm building another one up in the mountains. I'll be able to stay there indefinitely. but that won't happen until next summer. But the thing about it is the key. Yucky, come here, stop eating things. The thing is you got to not hyper focus, you know, because remember, there could be nothing more sad than there's a lady getting ready to say hi to me. Oh God, there could be nothing more sad than wasting your entire life worrying about something, and then you die and it never happened. You know, you gave away all that time that you could have been doing something else. Let me see if I can pause this. Okay, hopefully I unpaused it. I was just talking to a neighbor. But, you know, it's important that we have general preparedness. We stay aware of what's going on. But if we find ourselves sitting in front of the TV day in and day out, obsessing about how fucked up the country is and how fucked up liberals are and what a dangerous situation we're all in, we are literally giving away our lives, our quality of life, and we don't want to do that. Have weapons, have ammunition. If you don't have any precious metals, you need to get some precious metals. You know, if you just had $100 worth of silver, that's $100 worth of silver you can trade with if you needed to. And I'll tell you something, man, it's when you have this stuff together and you've got barrels of rice and, you know, they're properly preserved and you've got things stored and you have a plan, you really sleep better at night. You know, I can't imagine what it would be like to not have anything going as far as a plan, and then hang on a second, and then end up, Mason, this way, and then end up in a bad situation with no plan. That would just be terrible. So by all means, be prepared for anything, whether it's a false flag, martial law, we talked about that. You know, maybe a week, maybe 3 days, maybe the rest of our lives, maybe a world-changing event. And I'll leave it with this because the dogs are going to start barking at my neighbor's house. Can you imagine, have you ever thought of how advanced we would be as a civilization if we didn't have half of the population working against our president? Hang on a second. Hang on, I'm almost past. Hang on a second. So I'll repeat it because it's important. Can you imagine how advanced we would be with medicine, with everything, man, and even with like climate change, if that's something you're concerned with, if we didn't have almost the entire media working against the president as like an enemy, and if we didn't have Hollywood working against the president, and if we didn't have people in Congress that are not only not doing their job, but working to bring down a sitting president, and if we didn't have ex-presidents trying to bring down a sitting president. That's my Ring doorbell, letting me know that I'm standing in front of my door. But, yeah, that's something else, man. It's a shame. Anyways, I think I'll do a video on this Ring doorbell system too. If you don't have one yet, you need to get one. I don't work for the company. I get nothing from them, but man, this thing's badass. But I'm home now, and I hope you guys got something out of the video. As always, I hope you are safe and well, and please leave some comments. And until next time, LMS Tactical, I'm out.